Hello everybody, Sunday morning, time for another farm update. But just before I get into this and reply to a lot of comments and questions I've had after last Sunday's video, I just wanted to pay my respects to a really good friend of mine that passed away from cancer a couple of nights ago. Steve Thompson, some of you watch this might know him, some of you, a lot of you might not, but Tomo, as he was known, was a captain of Lincoln City. He played football for Lincoln City in the 80s and 90s. He became manager. He then went on also to play for Charlton Athletic, Sheffield United, a lot of other teams, and he was a no-nonsense centre half. And I got to know Tomo really well when he was commentating for Radio Lincolnshire. He was a summariser for them in the games, and I got to know Tomo really well and became a really good friend of mine. And I spent a lot of time with him, talking to him on the phone. Just tremendous stories, which I'll relate some of those to you, but there isn't time at the minute. But yeah, just tremendous stories and an incredibly human being as well. So Tomo, you have my utmost respect and huge sadness that you're no longer on the end of the phone telling me lots of funny stories and talking to me generally about football. And you've got some tremendous stories about the old days at Notts County as well. I think you were manager there as well. So Tomo, all the best, pal, and we'll see you one day. But you have had an incredible fight and you've remained positive throughout all these difficult years. You've had cancer, I don't know how many years it is, probably 5 or 6 years, I can't quite remember, but something like that. And you've just remained an incredible friend. And yeah, really sad that you're no longer here, but these things happen. So all the best, pal, and thank you for all the happy times, and thank you for everything that you've done for Lincoln City and for Lincoln and for football generally, because you've been fantastic. So on to the rest of this video. I just wanted to go back to last Sunday and thank everybody for the fantastic comments I've had this week. For those of you who haven't seen it, that's update 386, where I announce and go through the restructuring of the farm and the future plans over the next 10 years. And thank you so much for the comments, because I've had in the region of 850 messages of that's on here on YouTube, on the comments, LinkedIn, WhatsApp messages, ordinary text messages, Twitter, emails, and Rhonda's had some on Facebook and TikTok as well I've had. So thank you so much for that. I am getting through to replying to all of you. I think I've got through you all now and just either liked your comment or replied directly with some words or thumbs up. But thank you so much everybody who's commented. It was massively appreciated. So I've got all the questions and comments that you've come on to me here, so I'm going to spend a few minutes going through these. So the most important thing I think is to recognise that what I'm doing is right for me and it's right for the farm, for the farm's future. My father started this farm in 1958 and I wanted to make sure that the farm is here for the family and the next generations to take care of and enjoy. We are not in trouble financially at the minute, no way, far from it. But if we stood still and didn't do anything with the outgoings in the next 3 or 4 years, we probably would be. If you stand still, you very quickly go backwards. So what I want to do is be proactive, where I can plan now what we're doing and make sure it's right. We've been 2 years looking at this, and not reactive, where in a few years' time, the financial situation might mean that we have to do something quickly. And normally when you're being reactive, it's because you haven't got any options, and yeah, things aren't good. So I didn't want to be that. So some say that we have the kit to do ourselves, and yes, we have got the kit to do ourselves, and they've said, why don't I sell the RX, the 8RX, hire in a high horsepower tractor just for 10 weeks in the summer and do it all myself? Well, I could do that, and there is the work here, one person could run it, but I think the important thing to realise is I don't want to do it all myself. This is the big thing, because I've had 48 years on this farm. I left school at 16, and within 2 weeks, which was before my 17th birthday, I started to work full-time on the farm. And I would start work with the rest of the men. We had employed four other people, actually 3 other people. The fourth is my brother that isn't here. He died of cancer when he was 32, when I was 27, which again was a sad time for the family. And so that's another reason, obviously, with the cancer scare I had with prostate cancer and my brother dying from cancer years ago, this is another reason why I'm sort of really focusing on myself now and putting that and the safeguard the future of the farm. So I don't want to do it myself. So I left school when I was 16. I worked on the farm with everybody else I wasn't given any special jobs. I used to congregate with the rest of the farm staff in the morning. My father would roll down and give us all our jobs to do that day or for the week when we knew what we were doing. So I was treated like a normal member of the farm staff from the age of just before 17 right up to 30. I wasn't given any preferential treatment. I did all the mucky jobs, I did all the horrible jobs as well, and I've done all those jobs. So going forward and where we are now, I've never asked Reuben or Tom to do anything that I haven't done. We used to hand pull blackgrass and wild oats like we are now. We used to have potatoes on the farm. We didn't have machinery. We had 12 women from Newark picking the potatoes. So we had a picking gang, and we hand-picked potatoes. Our soil was too heavy for a machine. And those people used to come on the farm end of May, start working, pulling blackgrass and wild oats. And I was with that team the whole time. And it was really hard work. So I've done all that. So when I see, and again, our blackgrass pullers here on the farm, I know exactly how hard work that is because I've done it. Mucky jobs, cleaning out the dry, running the dry, cleaning the sheds out, blowing the sheds out, being in muck and dust, being in the cold, in the sugar beet, picking off rotten sugar beet on beet cleaners in the winter. I've done all that. So this is why I don't want to do that now and run the farm and do it myself. And the other thing is, some say, why don't I keep Tom or Reuben or take on one person to do it? The problem with that is there's always some jobs you need two people for. Now, if I wasn't here because I was on one of my meetings or doing something away from the farm on YouTube, that person who's here would try and do the job on his own when it needed two people and probably end up having an accident. There's too many accidents in farming today, so that is another reason why I'm not having one person here doing it and me sort of in the background. Also wanted to explain the family. Some of you are getting confused between my nephew Richard and my godson Henry. You were saying, why doesn't Henry do it? Henry from the floods, you've seen me focus on him. He farms near Lincoln. He's my godson. He's the son of one of my best friends, and he also died of a heart condition 2 or 3 years ago. And so Henry's dad is no longer here, but Henry is my godson, and he farms, I don't know how many, probably 2,000 acres the other side of Lincoln, and too far away, and Henry has got too much on already himself. Richard is my nephew, and he does help me. You've seen on these videos, he works for, it used to be Capulet, I think it's Perkins now, and he works there as an engine designer, and is at Peterborough, but he works from home a lot. That's my nephew Richard, and they've also got a farm of their own the other side in Newark. So that is just where explaining between Richard and Henry. Some people are saying the waffle won't be the same. Yes, it will. It'll actually be better because I'm going to be getting more things on here, and whoever we decide to do the farm, I'll be focusing on them as well. You'll see their machinery on their own farm, and I'm going to be doing more visits as well. So the waffle will probably be better. UK baked beans, will I still grow those? Later on in this update, Eric comes over, so we're going to be looking at that and talking about the future of the baked beans. But yes, very much, the baked bean project will continue here and expand. And this farm here will be the focal point one of the focal points of the baked bean crop that we're growing in the whole country. So yes, that will continue. Another one, Reuben and Tom are going at the end of September. Why are they going then and not waiting till the end of October or November? Well, again, I'm thinking about their future, and I wanted to make sure that they're able to get a job. So we're getting all well with the land work, so they will be going at the end of September, if not before, when we get work done and finished. But definitely at the end of September they'll be leaving. But that's why, because I wanted to make sure that they have got in a position to still be able to get work and get a job, rather than leave it till the winter time. Why did I put it on YouTube? Well, I put it on YouTube because there was a lot of comments, a lot of queries, and a lot of rumours going around, and I just wanted it, though, to be factual and make sure everybody knew the truth and what was happening. And as those of you who have followed this channel for a few years know that I'm always one to put the truth out there. I don't put anything false out there, so I wanted to put the truth out there, so that's why I've put it on YouTube. Looking at solar landlord relationship, some comments as well saying that they've seen that there's a solar project going on some of our tenanted land and we're losing that. No, we're not. Please be assured, at the minute, my landlord has not put his parcel of land into that project. Some of you have Googled it and said there's a bigger solar project on the edge of Leadenham. Yes, there is, but it's not. My landlord hasn't yet put his land into that. And if he did put it into that, it would only be about 110 acres of the 400 acres that we have on an AHA tenancy. So that's important clarity. Also, I think as well, I'm a big one for being in control of what we do when I say that we're being proactive and not reactive. And if you're able to do it yourself, I always look at it. I did another course. I did a life course when I got divorced in 2000, and I went down and did a lot of courses with other people on this landmark education. It's called. Google it because it's really interesting. And they looked at it and said that when you look at your direction in life, are you a player or a spectator? Now, think about it from a game of football, which we've heard about Paul Tomo earlier, and I'm going to see Lincoln City in a few minutes this afternoon playing Mansfield. If you're a player, you're down on that pitch, you are dictating the game, you are dictating what you do. So in my situation on this course, if you're a player, you are dictating life. Whereas if you're a spectator up in the stands, you can't dictate where that ball goes on a football pitch. You can't dictate how a game of football is played. And a spectator in life, you can't decide and dictate the direction of your life. So think upon life as whether you're a player or a spectator. I am definitely a player, and that is why I wanted to dictate where we go in the direction of life. So the reason we're doing this as well, as I said at the start, is that because the way the industry is, I wanted to safeguard the future of the farm for when the good times return. They will come back at some point, and I wanted to make sure that there was a farm here for the family and the next generations to take advantage of. If we'd carried on and kept buried our heads in the sand in 3 or 4 years' time, there might not have been. Someone mentioned about Jess. Is Jess still here? No, she's not. Jess has already gone. Jess left 10 days, a couple of weeks ago. And also what I'm doing here is I'm giving myself time. The important thing here is another reason I'm doing it is because I'm giving myself time to do what I want to do, not what I have to do by calendar date. That's important because all farming operations, you have to do them by certain dates or with weather conditions. And so what I'm doing is meaning that I can do what I want to do, not what I have to do. I think there are actually tougher times ahead, at the minute with this industry. I really do. And I don't think we've seen the worst of this. And so I think when you start to look at what could be out there with this government, they've got another 4 years before there's a general election potentially. I think that is quite scary when you look at that. Another comment is, contractors won't come when they're wanted. With us going down the contractor route, contractors won't come when they're wanted. They won't do a decent job. And when lorries want loading, what happens when I'm not here? Well, this is all about relationships. I'm really can't stress enough how much relationships I put emphasis on that. And we're going to choose the right company, the right farm that we have a relationship with, and we can expand that going forward. So I think that is massively important. So if we go down a whole profit share contract farming agreement, then it won't be a case of the contractors aren't here when they're wanted, because they'll be here doing the farm anyway, and they won't go till it's done. And we'll have this relationship where if they go back to do some of their own, I know they'll come back again. So it's all about having a relationship, doing a decent job. Another comment, I won't choose anybody that doesn't do a decent job. Simple as that, because obviously I know everybody who's coming on to us. And also what we're going to do with lorries. Well, there is a thing called a phone, and when a haulier rings up 1 week and says, can I come and pick your wheat up next week, or the merchant I've sold it to, can I come and pick your wheat up next week? If I'm not here, I'll just say, sorry, I can't. No, pick a day when I am here, or the company that we're going to use and work with on the farm, they'll come and load the lorries for me. So there's easy ways around this when you think about it and plan it. So that's it for all the questions now. I hope that's explained most of it. Please come back with any questions and I'll explain them, answer them again in the next video. So that's about it now for the restructure. Part 2 of the restructure will be when I announce who we're actually going to work with and who we choose to work with going forward. We haven't decided that yet, but when we do, I'll let you know who that is, and hopefully him, her, or they will be able to come on this video and introduce themselves and about their farm and how they're going to work with us as well. And then part 3 is where I announce about the machinery and how we're going to restructure the machinery and what we're going to do with that. Now, we are going to be selling some of the machinery. Probably the 2 items actually behind me, I probably won't. In fact, I definitely won't sell this wheel John Deere that we've just bought. And that's one of the questions. Why have I bought this tractor when I knew we were going to be doing this and restructuring the farm? Well, I didn't know we were going to be restructuring it fully like this. I had an idea, but I didn't know fully. And I'm going to be needing this tractor myself because I'm going to be still doing jobs myself. We'll mow margins, I'll do that myself, and various jobs around the farm. I'll keep a grain trailer probably for help local farmers, corn carting, various things like that. And so I'm still going to be needing a tractor here myself. So I'll announce in part 3, which might be probably towards Christmas yet, I don't really know, haven't decided. I'll announce how we're going to be selling the machinery. I think that's going to be an online timed auction. So those of you who are interested in purchasing some of it, you'll be able to do it online. But I will be keeping some and getting rid of the big ticket items probably as well. So, but I'll let you know on that in due course. Anyway, I think that's it. Let me just have a look here, going through everything. Yes. Yeah, I think that's answered all the questions and comments. So thank you for those. So now on to the rest of this update and what's coming up in it. Sugar beet factory has been, the announcement was made this week of Newark, was going to be opened on the 29th of September. Actually, I'll just touch on that. It's really infuriating that we have these grower meetings, and at the end of the season we got invited to grower meetings by British Sugar, and we were able to voice our opinions. And I voiced quite strongly this year and last year, and other people have as well, that Newark is always the last factory to close. Any other beet that's left around the country comes to Newark. Now, Newark is the oldest factory of all the 4 factories that are slicing sugar beet, and it's probably the least reliable and has the most breakdowns, and yet it's the one that they keep open longest. And the problem we've got is it's the farmers that suffer because we can't get our sugar beet in on time because sugar beet comes from other areas. So if anybody's watching this from British Sugar, please give me a ring. Why will you not take on board the growers' comments when you ask us to growers' meetings? We voice our opinion and NFU Sugar as well, but you don't take on board anything that we say. And it's the grower that we actually are the ones that lose out on this. And it was announced as well that the price, and I'll touch on this more in an update, give a bit more detail, the price of sugar beet next year, not the crop we're about to lift, but next year there's various things and it's decided, but again there's a price reduction on that, but I'll go into that. But yeah, I'm just a bit cross that our views aren't taken on board. And this is a screenshot of when the factory opening dates are and the potential closing dates. And you can see Newark is one of the last to close. This week we had Eric over from Warwick University. So Eric came to look at the beans. So I mentioned a few minutes ago that the beans are continuing. So we talked to Eric about the future of the beans and look at these and what we're doing. And also, if you remember from the last week, we've got a lot of fat hen in the beet. And I go through that, what we decided to do with that. And lastly, we finished spreading the poultry muck. So we've finished spreading that now. There's no poultry muck left anywhere on the farm. It's all gone. So that is it for a long intro, but lots of questions as well. Here we go into the rest of this update. Hope you enjoy it, and say thanks ever so much for the new subscribers. Keep subscribing, because all you do, it doesn't cost you anything if you haven't subscribed yet. All it does is every time I post a video, it means you'll get a notification of when that video goes up. That's what it means when you subscribe. There's no cost whatsoever. So thank you very much for all the comments, all the support, massively appreciated. Here we are into the update, and we'll see you at the end. So I've got Eric here, just come back, look at the beans again, and we've got a little tractor. We're just trying to see what damage it makes onto the beans to see if we get a weed wiper or not. So this corner we know we're going to spray off because there's more fat hen here than there is beans. So here are the beans. You can see the pods. We'll have a word with Eric in a minute about these. Lots of pods here. This is the Capulet. That's where it's been run on. So this is the other trouble. If you look here, it split some pods So there's damage there. So yeah, I think it's not a good idea. Tom just pulled that up. Let's just hold this. That's, yeah, Tom. Yeah, look at the. There we go. How big's the? Look at the root. Stem rather. Yeah. Crikey. This shows you how big it is. So the long and short of it is, Eric, we're not going to do it. It'll make too much damage.
That's correct.
Yeah. So I've got Eric here. We're just using the tractor to shelter from the wind. Just about what we've decided, Eric. We're not going to wipe these fat hen, are we? We're not going to do anything with it.
No, we have to leave the fat hen.
Yeah. It's damaging the pods too much, isn't it?
Yeah. The tractor itself is going to be running over too many of the plants.
Yeah. Yeah. So just looking at what we've got here, then it's podding up quite well, and the yellowness. We'll have a look in a minute, but they're just starting to go off a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah, so that turning of the leaf color is indicating that Capulet is already switching to everything going into the pod.
Yeah.
So that's good, very good.
Just a bit behind.
It's behind, yeah, I think we're a couple weeks behind with Capulet, but you can see it's switching to finishing off the year.
Yeah.
So we're going to have, just looking at the pods, there seem to be good seeds inside the pods.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just have a look at those and just open one up. So you can just see there the fat hen we've got around. We're going to have to manage that and just combine it as it is. So you were saying they're starting to senesce and go off now.
Yeah, so that plant's got green and yellow pods. So the yellow pods are the ones that would have fertilized at first. So those are nice sized already.
So you get those out. So that's the Capulet. So they're the ones that turn into baked beans.
And then on that same plant, there are some green pods as well.
Yeah.
They're going to need another week to catch up.
Yes. Yeah.
So you can see that seed's about half the size.
Yeah.
But with the plant, the leaves turning yellow, it's putting all the resource now into all the seeds and all the pods.
Yeah. And then we'll just pull a plant up in a minute. That's it. Put those in your hand, and then because I've got some. There we go. Yeah, you can just see what they're like. And then here we've got a rogue plant.
Yeah, so that's the Godiva. There was a Godiva plant in the same field.
And they're the ones that will go blonde or a sort of a light brown.
As they dry out, in the next couple of weeks, they'll start turning blonde.
Yeah. And then this is the Godiva plant. Is that the one? Yeah.
Yep. So that's the plant that's here we found it here in the Capulet field.
Yeah.
You can see much longer pods.
Long pods, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good 6 seeds in there. They're about kidney bean size.
Yeah. And
really strong stem. And although the pods are long, there's still going to be some clearance on a plant like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then just pull a Capulet plant, if you would, please, just to see, that's it. So there you can just see the pods are shorter, the plant's a bit short as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure a couple of them.
Yeah. Yeah, pull another pod, there we go.
Yeah.
So there's the difference in pods.
That's the Godiva.
Yeah, and then there's the Capulet. You see the difference in the pods, big difference. Yeah. Great. All right, Eric, thanks for that. And then we've got the other varieties down the field, but they're all progressing okay. So harvest date for these towards the end of September?
Yeah, the end of September. It's looking to forecast to sort of 20 degrees over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That'll be helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, end of September.
And you think that, and what you were saying about the fat hen, we're going to have to get this cleaned really quickly after harvest.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it'll increase the moisture, the fat hen moisture, and will increase the moisture of the beans.
Yeah. So down at the university farm, we combine harvested with a New Holland.
Yeah.
And fat hen was about the same sort of density in the field.
Yeah.
The combine coped, but the main problem was there was a lot of fat hen seed.
Yeah.
In with the bean seed, and the moisture of the fat hen can cause issues with mold getting across.
Yeah, yeah, right, okay. Great. All right, Eric, thank you. So you saw in Thursday's update, this tractor, we borrowed it from Ses van der Haaf, just at Wellingore. That's the sugar beet seed breeders not far away. So rather than get the weed wiper on the tractor, and I just thought we'd try it. And as we say, it's just doing too much damage. It's running too many beans into the ground. If we'd got a, say, a 36 metre weed wiper, then that would be different. Tom's just going to drill the cover crops, plant the cover crops as part of our SFI agreement. JSE are back today. It's Thursday afternoon, spreading some more poultry muck. This will be one of the last lots we're spreading. Actually, this is the last lot that we're spreading on land that's coming winter wheat. That's another spreader full going. One thing that's really evident from the drone is the amount of wheelings all around the heap. And I think if it wasn't so dry as it is now, there'll be a huge amount of compaction with this poultry muck. It is the first year we've had it, so it's just fortunate that it is dry, but we are going to keep getting it from the farm next door, the new poultry farm that's just up the road. They do actually muck out every 7 weeks, just about every 7 weeks. So it's a regular tonnage we'll get throughout the year. And the soil will really benefit from this because the poultry muck has quite a lot of potash, nitrogen. There's a lot of other nutrients in it. There is phosphate, but not as much as potash. Now, over the years, we've been using sewage sludge, which is high in phosphate and low in potash. So for us, really, going onto the poultry muck is a lot better, and we'll balance our soils out. I have actually speeded this up slightly, by the way, this little clip. And so these spreaders hold in the region of 10, 11 tonnes. It is quite light, this muck. You can just see as well the steam coming out of it. That is actually heat. It is quite hot when it's tipped like that and it's stored. But that heat was only there for about a week. You can actually see here the spreaders do spread it fantastically well. You can see the spinning discs at the back, but I think they're spreading about 12 metres wide, something like that. But it's giving it a lovely even coverage, and we are putting on here, because it's slightly stronger, we're putting on about 5.5, 6 tonnes per hectare. That's all that's going on here. So divide that by 2.5 to get to tonnes per acre. But spreaders work really well, and you just cannot beat putting it on dry. On the stubbles here, lovely dry, no wet, no wheelings out on the road taking soil out. And here as well, we've got the heap in the corner of the field, you can see here, so it's really handy and convenient. It's Thursday evening, just posted the video not that long ago, the midweek or the late midweek one, and you can hear a bit of a buzz in the background there. Got a tanker rolled up, Omex. This proves we're carrying on, which is great. So this is the fertiliser. Hang on, let me just get out the wind. Let's get round the side of this shed if I can. That's better. So this is Omex fertiliser. It's 24% nitrogen and 7% sulphur. So this is for this next year's crops. There's 4 lorry loads to come. This is the second one going in the tanks. I think there's 2 more tomorrow, so I'll have another look tomorrow and just have a look round the lorry and maybe put the drone up as well. Anyway, heading off in for supper now and a glass of Merlot. Reuben's just spraying some of the stubbles off. This was spring barley, and it's coming spring barley again this next year. Good selection of barley volunteers, but there is also some thistles and general rubbish as well, so we're just spraying the whole lot. So Reuben's spraying glyphosate here with a little bit of a wetter in it that lowers the pH of the soil, and it just makes the glyphosate work better. And he's putting on 4.5 litres a hectare, so it's quite a high rate. The maximum rate is 5 litres a hectare, and that's in 100 litres of water. So when you see a sprayer running, like this one here, we're putting 95 litres a hectare of water on, or 95 and a half, and 4.5 litres a hectare of product. Here, actually, I was a bit nearer the sprayer than what I thought with the drone then, but I'm getting better. I haven't crashed it for probably a couple of weeks now, so I am getting better at it. So yeah, this is coming spring barley, as I've said, and it's all just this is going to help the rubbish die. We've got thistles, there's a bit of bindweed, general broadleaf weeds, and barley volunteers. This is the next field he's coming to spray. You can see the wheelings there as well. Those wheelings are from the baling and from the chaser trailer collecting the straw. Just look at those circles you can just see in the screen now, and those green tracks. That's from quad bikes that's come on from that traveller site. You can just see on the left of the screen there, just in the centre now. And they just drive all over the fields and don't really worry about it, which is, it's just not right, really. Here's Reuben just travelling on the road to the last field. Friday afternoon, about, 4 o'clock, and on the window it's raining. But we've just come up to the heath, to the cereals event fields, with a solo and a press, but it's not going very well. I'll just show you the issue. So there's Tom with the machine, and you can just see the sky's full of rain at the minute. Well, just through there. Problem we've got is it's not working it very well at all, not very deep. God, you can see the water. It's raining really hard at the minute. It's not working it very deep at all. So actually, let's just go around this side, and then hopefully you might be able to see something. That's better. Right, this breed here, you can just see there's a line across there. So from there this way, Tom's actually done this twice. It is so hard, the solo's not going in. And then he's altered the discs and everything to try and get it to go in, but now it's ridging it across the other side there. But yeah, you can see the difference here. This bit's done twice, where it's a bit leveler. Can't do it twice though, it just costs too much. So the problem we've got is because it's so hard, and really the solo needs to go in deeper, but we're just a bit reluctant to put it in deeper for the axles snapping, the disc axles that is, like there were earlier on, like a week or two ago. So I think what it needs is, it needs a lot of rain, so we're just going to wait. It's not a rush. This field is coming winter wheat, and predominantly most of it's grass. There is obviously the plots in it, and the cereals where the sprayers run through, so the sprayers and sprayers arena that was wheat. But 90% of this field is grass, so it will be classed as the first wheat. So we could plant it anytime from, well, 20th of September time, but we're not in a rush to do it, so we'll try and wait and see if we can get a rain on it, and it will work better. We could actually just work it and drill it nearly straight away. Anyway, we'll see. I'm going home now, Friday afternoon. So Saturday evening, about 6:45, and just got back from the football not that long ago. We're just going out for something to eat actually in a few minutes. Actually, just see the yellow here behind me. This is the paddock in front of the house. Got the A17 just there, the house just there, and I'm going to reseed it because I think I showed you last time it was so bad. I think I did show you maybe a few weeks ago when Reuben sprayed it. So we are going to work this up and reseed it. Anyway, football. Yeah, it was 1-1, but the ref was appalling, absolutely appalling ref. Sent off one of our guys that really wasn't a sending off because it should have been offside before he fouled the Mansfield player, but then he also, he got a straight red, which he shouldn't have done because he was not the last man in the defence. But anyway, that's another story. So, and it gave a nice standing ovation for Tomo, and a minute standing ovation for Tomo that I mentioned at the start of this clip. This is just a few minutes of that and around the ground and what the announcer said about Tomo's career.
And Steve Thompson this week. Ron was a star of the Great Estate in 1958 when he scored in 6 consecutive weeks as City survived in the old 2nd Division. He was later president of the former Players Association and a regular visitor here at the Open Stadium. Steve Thompson was a key player for Collingwood in the early 1980s and returned to the club in 1999 as a player and then as manager. He was a regular face and voice for the Ibs for many, many years as he was a match summariser for BBC Radio in Bedfordshire before ill health took its toll. Please join us now in this applause which will start and finish on the referee's whistle.
So there you can see a big send-off for Tomo, and he's had a big part to play in Lincoln City's history and also Lincolnshire as well, and a great friend of mine, so miss you, Tomo. Anyway, that's it for this update. Thanks ever so much for watching. The next one will be midweek. I'm not quite sure whether it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday. I'll decide virtually last minute. Lots going on, as you've seen at the minute. Come back with any questions, as always. If you've any further questions about the restructure we're doing, hopefully everything's explained. But we'll see you midweek, and until then, take care.